The STEM Society.
What's poppin', people? My name is Cole Jackson. This is the STEM Society. Welcome back. Few things on the docket today. I will be diving into the XXL Freshman Class Cypher. There's some conversation online about getting rid of it, and I want to make my argument to keep it. We'll talk about that later on in the episode. Right now, let's talk podcasting. Here recently, Forbes decided to drop their 2026 highest paid podcaster list, and two of the pillars of black podcasting are on that list. Charlamagne the God came in at number 10, valued at $27 million, and Joe Budden is at number 15, where he's valued at $20 million. Before I go any further and say anything else, I just want to say congratulations to Joe and Charlamagne. Shouts out to them, man. They have put in a lot of work to get to this point. I'm glad to see some black faces on this list. Respect is most definitely due to both of those guys. The online conversation about this list is very interesting, though, because when you pull back the lens, there's no black women on this list at all. And then on the other side of this, the people who are podcasters or content creators are talking about how this might change the landscape. So I wanted to attack both of those questions, starting with the whole situation with black women not being on this highest paid list. That's a tall order, but I did some research and I looked up the 4 most successful podcasts of 2026, which ended up being the Oprah podcast, Baby, This Is Keke Palmer podcast, Women Involved with Sarah Jake Roberts, Therapy for Black Girls. I got this list by researching audio reach, video audience, and social following. Those were the 3 things that I think make a podcast successful. So that's how I got those top 4 pods. Let's look at Oprah. Oprah's a billionaire right now. I don't think she's worried about being the highest paid podcast. And if I'm being completely honest with y'all, she probably looks at this podcast as just a hobby, or this is some money to go buy her some shoes, or just take Gail out for dinner. Whatever the case may be, that's what the Oprah podcast is basically set up for. Just another revenue stream in her ever-growing media empire. Then I look at the other 2 podcasts, which are Women Evolve and Therapy for Black Girls. Again, those are more for self-help, which I think could probably reach out and grab some people that's outside the black community. But at the end of the day, who's really listening or downloading those consistently that's not black or woman or needing some help, right? And then you have Baby, This Is Keke Palmer. That is probably the closest thing to what could end up on that list if people supported it the most. But if I'm being real with y'all, Keke's everywhere. Not saying that's a bad thing because she got to pay her bills, but she has a media empire too. I don't think that she's taking podcasting super serious. She has so many other avenues, acting, hosting. She has her own network. Podcasting is probably the last thing on her mind. So when you look at those 4 podcasts as being the most successful, I don't see any one of them actually striving to be on that list because they have so many other things going on. Then you get to podcasts I actually listen to, like Decisions, or Poor Minds. Those are black women-led podcasts that I enjoy. Why? Because they have relevant guests. They actually talk about social commentary. They give us some pop culture references. They are exactly what we're looking for. Kind of like Call Her Daddy, who ended up being at number 8. So how is it that Call Her Daddy can get so much support from everybody and she could be up there with the big guys or the big dogs, and we have Decisions and Poor Minds who are basically doing the same thing? Well, one of the things that I feel like is a lot of the major celebrities aren't really supporting these podcasts. Now, don't get me wrong. Decisions have had major guests. Poor Minds have had major guests. But have we seen people like Cardi B or Gayle King? Shit, even Wiz Khalifa. All of those people I just named were on Call Her Daddy. I haven't seen any one of those people on Poor Minds or Decisions. So what's the difference? They're both doing the exact same thing. I would think that, and this is just me being biased, I think Decisions, and Pouring Minds do it better. Is it because they don't fit the aesthetic of a blonde white girl? Is it because they don't have like a get it out the mud story? Well, I mean, that's a lot too. I mean, when you think about Call Her Daddy, she came from a situation where her and her partner couldn't get along. Her partner thought they deserved more from this barstool deal. It ended up being a bad breakup, and she ended up tripping and falling into a great contract. I mean, I don't want to make it race, but you have to look at it like that because there's no black women on this list. And it's not to say that they can't make it to this point, but what is the major problem that's keeping those types of podcasts from this list? Where are we going wrong? Are we as a black community not supporting these women? I have more questions than I do answers. I really wish I could figure out how we can get one of these podcasts on that list, if not both, because they're very solid in what they do. They're very informative, and they give us a point of view from a black woman's perspective that we need to understand what's really going on around here. And I'm not saying that they speak for every black woman in the world, but what I'm saying is they have a unique point of view that we should be listening to because they get it. They see the world differently. Not like Alice Cooper on Call Her Daddy. Not to say that she's had a very easy life, but I'm pretty sure some privileges come with that white skin and that blonde hair. That's all I'm saying. And people are willing to bet on her. I don't know if people are willing to bet on these other pods. They get brand deals, but like they haven't got the deals. I don't see the major guests come on those shows. So I think we should be more inviting and we should support them more and try to get Cardi B on Poor Minds or Decisions. Even Gayle King. I'm just saying a lot of this falls on us. A lot of it falls on the people, on the celebrities who decide to support Call Her Daddy more than they would their own. That's all I'm saying. So maybe that might be a bit of the reason why we don't have any black women on this list. That's just me reaching. I could be wrong. But let's look at the other side of the game too. Let's look at the other question. How does this change the podcast ecosystem and the landscape? Well, if you ask me, and this is all opinion based, you can have your own side of this, but it don't change shit. It changed nothing. When I see Joe and Charlamagne get on this list, the first thing I think is, man, they bust their ass for more than 10 years to get to just 10 and 15. They got a seat at the table, right? They finally was like, we got to sit down. We're here. And I know they built their own tables, but you know the table that I'm talking about. But what do they do after this? Now, I know Joe was on a recent interview with Forbes talking about him moving forward to do his true crime podcast. Salute to him. And of course, with Charlamagne, it's the Black Effect. But the landscape doesn't necessarily get to change because these two niggas got on here, because podcasting in 2026 is a mess. It's terrible because you either have to be a failed rapper, or you have to be a failed reality TV star, or you just have to lie about everything on your shit. I don't see, and this is just right now, but I don't see a lot of people who are really doing the work or trying their best being successful, because people look at entertainment as mess, arguments, and lies. That's what gets you to where you need to be at currently. I'm not saying it's going to be like that forever, but when you sit back and you look at everything that's happening, if you're not somebody who's not connected to a fucking reality show star or a fucking rapper, you fighting for your life right now. And that's just what I see. And what I see might not be what everybody else sees, but this is what I see in my brain because I'm a podcaster. I'm not willing to drive certain narratives on my show because it's just me, to get people to watch or listen. There's a lot of nasty shit that goes on when you look at the landscape of podcasting. You gotta be somebody like Adam 22, which is going all the way in on just being Jerry Springer-esque type stuff. And you see how that's working out for him right now. But the landscape is not going to change because these two ended up on a Forbes list. Because what are they going? What is Joe and Charlamagne really going to do when it comes to people who are on the lower level of podcasting? What can we ask them for? What kind of game can they give? You get what I'm saying? Because I don't see neither one of these people really reaching out saying, well, here's some game. And maybe that's because I'm in where I'm at right now. And, you know, maybe I should just reach out or send an email or say, hey, man, how could you help me? But Charlamagne's Black Effect stacked the deck from the very beginning. And again, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. You do what you have to do for the betterment of business. But I never really seen them get any up-and-coming podcasters. People are either comedians or they were Angela Rye or they were old rappers or whatever the case may be. Like, nobody digs or tries to find some diamond in the rough that they can shine up and put on here and say, this is a homegrown product that I found, I helped groom, and I made it into something wonderful. The landscape of podcasting is nasty. Take it from people who critique podcasts like Danny from The Stop. If you're not driving narratives, if you're not doing anything to argue with your co-host or anything like that, you're not entertaining. And that's the final say because he's on Joe's payroll anyway. But that's what the say is. I just feel like things need to have a reset or evolve a little bit more so more people can actually get their work out there and do more and elevate. Because I would love to be on that Forbes list one day from having my own network and for me to be able to build something from the ground up that actually give people opportunities. Still working on it right now. But when I look at this landscape and what people are willing to do and what I'm not willing to do, because I'm not willing to sell my soul for a lot of this shit that people want to get views and likes on. Like, that ain't who I am. I talk music, I talk hip hop, and I try to connect with you guys. But I'm not going to sit up here and lie or make this podcast beef a thing just to be able to get some views and some fucking subscribers. It's not what you think it is. And again, I'm proud of those two because they put the work in and they got to where they need to be at. But just because they end up on the highest paid Forbes list, don't mean them niggas is looking back trying to help niggas like me out or other smaller podcasters who actually love this shit. The game's the game, like I said before. So it's just one of those things where I'm proud to see those things, but I just hate what I have to do now to be able to get to that point. What do you guys think? How are you looking at the podcast landscape right now? Do you like it? Do you wish it would change? Does the landscape need to be better? Also, how well are you receiving Charlamagne and Joe Budden being on this Forbes highest paid list? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Now, let's move to something a little bit more fun and let's talk about this XXL Freshman Class Cypher. XXL dropped their Freshman Class Cypher this week. For the most part, I actually enjoyed this. I thought it was good, man. There were some low points in here, which I'll get to in a second, but I enjoyed a lot of these rappers, man. They actually did pretty good. Now, the conversation online is people are saying XXL need to get rid of this. This is one part of the freshman class that just continues to get worse. Where I understand somebody's point of view, I don't necessarily think that they should get rid of it. I think there's room for improvement. And some people have done it better, which I'll talk about in a second. But completely getting rid of the Cypher, man, is just getting rid of another place where people can show their talent. Let's talk about some of the positive things or the high points that I seen or I took away from this Cypher. Starting with the most obvious one, Chris Patrick killed it. Chris Patrick had the best verse on this Cypher.
Skip on me, come from the team, still got rookie of the year. I know there's some rat niggas sick of me. Them boys got tired of putting in pain. I put in pain when I didn't have energy. Zion Will, niggas y'all said was the one lost they place through the breaking from injury. Break through the industry, wasn't a fan favorite off the rip. I went from Jalen Brunson in a Mavericks jersey to the Jalen Brunson on the Knicks. Getting a double, show you if your niggas solid or if niggas with you is a bitch.
I loved it. I became more of a fan after I heard this freestyle from him than ever. And I believe in him more now. And I can't wait till he actually drops another album or a real album. Like, he's talented as hell, and I love his fucking flow. Two people in this group that I enjoyed listening to also was Miles Minnick's freestyle and Slayer's freestyle. Both of them came away doing some solid shit, man. I don't know what y'all are thinking or why y'all not really trying to like fuck with these new artists, but both of them came away very, very good. They look great in this.
Okay, ain't doing no time to say. Been clocked in as the devil outside, I'll slide, man. I got some time today. Can't check me now. Moving, Lord bless these mouths. Kept it 100, can't test me now. Y'all only gave half like Epstein files. Y'all crazy. Say with our eyes on the goal, got a little Zuko here to watch my blind spot. Last year we did wasn't loud. We turn up the crowd, felt like a headline slot. Lit up the scene, so hit up the team. Let them know we need a new time slot. Lifted his name more violent than Playboy Cardi, but you know I ain't lying. Stop.
I had been listening to Miles Minnick before this. I'm gonna go listen to more of his music after this. Slayer, I was still new to him or what he was doing. I had somebody in my comments a few episodes ago tell me that he is one of those guys. After I heard his performance here, I believe it. Like, he actually had a nice flow, and I still need to check out his catalog. So those are like three rappers that I came away listening to or excited about after I heard this version or this group. I also have to give some credit to Belly Gang Cushington because I like the fact that he was in another group, but I like the fact that he was like, yo, stop this beat because this ain't really my vibe and let me rap and just get my freestyle off. And he actually pulled me in a little bit because I was real down on him when I did my review of the freshman class. But I like the fact that he shut everything down and he gave me another version of him that I didn't think I would like. But Belly Gang Cushington did a pretty good job with the group that he was in, and I think he was the best person from his group. So, you know, like, there was some good highs on here. I especially like the fact that they split these two into two different groups, and XXL did something that I think was kind of fucked up, but they needed to do it. They put the real rappers with the real rappers, and then they put the the people who don't know how to do this shit right together, which I'm going to get to the lows. That brings me to the lows of this cipher. Starting with niggas not knowing how to freestyle. Is that what I put? I want to make sure that's what I said. Yeah. Niggas don't know how to freestyle anymore. The other group with YK Needs, Trap Dicky, Skrilla, Babyface E, and Belly Gang Cushington, y'all don't know how to freestyle, bro. I don't know what it was. I don't know why y'all got so confused or got nervous or the lights was too bright, but you guys need help ASAP. I was really disappointed too with my boy Trap Dicky, who signed to TDE. The lights were too bright for him. He's got so much potential and he could be so good, but it feels like every time it's time for him to show up in certain situations, the lights be too bright for him. I've listened to his album or his mixtape, and I like some of the stuff that he's doing on here. This was his prime opportunity to outshine everybody in that fucking cipher that was on his group. And he just crashed and burned in my eyes. I wanted better from him, and he just gave me mid, which really fucked me up. And then you have people like YK Needs, when she started ad-libbing towards the end because she just didn't know what to say. What was my man's name that just fucked up everything? Skrilla. Skrilla couldn't even find the beat. My man Skrilla couldn't find the beat at all. I don't understand what is wrong with people understanding the fundamentals of rap, which is, again, freestyling. That's a fundamental. That's a given. You should be ready to freestyle no matter what. And this whole group, this second group, just did not have it at all. DJ Drama had the most fakest smiles throughout these whole ciphers when he should have been like, hey, do this or change that or run that back. He just sitting up there grinning, collecting the check. Drama, I'm on to you, nigga. I'm on to you, DJ Drama. You sat back there and smiled and just was like, yeah, let me get this check and get up out of here so I can see what Jack Harlow is doing. That nigga had some of the, whoever got the B-roll of this nigga smiling, bruh, great job, because I know there was times when he was just like, ooh, he was, ooh. I wouldn't have been able to hide it. That check must have been nice. That check must have been real nice. What other notes do I have, bro? Is there anything else that I have? Trap Dicky, B-roll. They don't know how to freestyle. Yeah, that's all my checklist right there. Overall, do I feel like this needs to go away? Nah, man. No. This doesn't need to go away. New artists need outlets to be able to show what they can do. Whether it's good or bad, we want to see what they got as far as freestyling is concerned, as far as just the group dynamic with other rappers. We want to see all of that stuff. So we want to keep these types of things in there. I don't think XXL needs to get rid of the ciphers because there's some kids out here who don't know how to freestyle. But I do think that XXL needs to step their game up. Some of this shit looks overproduced. It looks like a Sprite commercial, bright and happy, and DJ Drama smiling in the background wearing orange. The shit was bullshit. My favorite cypher so far, especially with new acts, is the Gabe P one. The Gabe P, the rap new class, that shit was heat. It was fire. It felt organic. It felt like a lot of these niggas met with each other beforehand to just talk about the verses that they was gonna put out there. It just felt like niggas was actually competing and trying to outdo each other with their verses. It just felt way more of the aesthetic that I was looking for when it comes to ciphers. This shit right here, bro, y'all need to take it back to basics. Go back to, call Gabe P on the phone, bro, and ask him what he's doing. And say, yo, we want to do some shit like that. Figure it out. Because if you're gonna continue to give us this overproduced, happy, shiny bullshit, it just feels fake and phony, and people don't really want to fuck with it like that. And find better fucking beats. The beats that were for Gabe P's cipher was Overcast, a nigga who was in the cipher. Reach out to Overcast. He's one of the best new producers out right now. If you want to beat, go to him. Figure it out is what I'm saying. People trash this shit because y'all don't put no thought into it. Y'all just throw money at it and say fuck it and think that because Sprite supports it, we supposed to be happy about it. No, nigga. Sit down, plan it out. Get a better mixture of people in each group. I thought it was fucked up that you had one side that completely knew how to rap and the other side who was just like, I'm gonna try. Figure these shit out, XXL, because there are other platforms that are doing it better than you are, and y'all are looking crazy out here right now. Step it up next year. That's all I'm gonna say. What did you guys think? Did you see the Freshman Class Cypher? Did you like it? Who was your favorite artist out of all of the people who did freestyles? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments. Before I leave, we have a Cole's Corner. This Cole's Corner is gonna be a lot different because it's pertaining to Northwest. So here recently, Northwest and Molly Santana was supposed to go on a tour together, 23 dates, and it got canceled because of low ticket sales. Now, for a lot of people, that's something that they would laugh at or be like, see, I told you she ain't good. She's just a Nepo baby. For me, I was pleased. I was happy. Not because of a Nepo baby situation, but because she's 13 years old and 23 dates as a 13-year-old doesn't resonate with me. I think we're losing the plot when it comes to kids being kids. I understand whose daughter she is, and I understand she's talented. This tour was supposed to promote her album North Forever, and I haven't got a chance to sit with it. I've only heard the song with her and Lil Wayne's son. But from what I understand, she's already one of those people who understands music and is getting music correct. I seen a video where they showed up to a venue, and I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a local venue. And it creeped me out because niggas was like really up on this girl. She's 13. I think she had just turned 13 when they announced the tour. So she's at these different venues where you have a lot of creepy niggas or grown niggas just kind of putting their arm around her, or she's kind of just like kind of standoffish and like, nah, like come on in for the. It just, all of that shit just feels bad and wrong. And you think it's okay for her to endure that kind of shit for 23 dates in different places outside of where she lives. Personally, for me, I just feel like when you're 13 years old, you should just kind of be cool with being 13. And I would give her some local shows to do. But just doing 23 dates just didn't feel right. It's a lot of creeps out there. There's a lot of people who have these fake vendettas against Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. There's just a lot of bad shit out here for a 13-year-old to be in the middle of. And I just don't feel like she would have been able to handle it the correct way. Even though she is under a spotlight, or we know who her parents are, or even though, you know, all of this other shit, she's still a 13-year-old girl. And having to deal with the scum of the earth that's willing to do any and everything to just get a picture or to get some clout or to just say they did this, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth her mental health. I don't think it's worth whatever comes with it. I've heard stories about going on tour. Not all of those stories are pretty. So I was just grateful that the show got canceled because she can finally be at home, work on some more music, maybe even figure out if she really wants to do this music thing full time or not. But at the end of the day, she's 13. That's a lot to put on a kid, man. And I would think that Kanye or even Kim would think about that before trying to boost her up as a celebrity or boost her up or put her out there early and stuff like that. Like, she's a kid, bro. Let her enjoy being a kid before the rest of the world tries to taint her or try to do what they need to do to get their clout. It's just too much going on right now. So I'm just grateful that the show got canceled, the tour got canceled. I hate it for Molly Santana because she is really hot right now, but I think the right decision was made. That's all the time I got for y'all today, man. Thank you for joining me for another episode. If you like what I do, because what I do is not very easy, you can pay me in a like, pay me in a comment, but support me with a subscription. Build my platform as big as the sun. I appreciate you guys showing up and showing out, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.
She is kind of fucking with my money, but I meant everything I said, and I say it again.